Here we will address removing outliers. Let's use the remove outlier action. We're currently looking at an insurance data set with a number of different features relating to patient health. When I open up the remove outliers data set, I'm provided with a table of just the continuous or numeric columns. When I open up the remove outliers actions, I'm presented with a list of the numeric columns available in this set. Each one of these columns contains a checkbox, the name of the column, the number of the outliers, if any, and the percentage, as well as a slider of the range and a pre-selection of the upper and lower ranges, and a visualization using a special box plot. You'll notice that in some cases, the visualization of the box plot includes these red dots, which if I hover over, I can see the values of. These red dots are potential outliers according to the statistical method that we use to calculate it. The particular method used to calculate these outliers was the 2-key upper fence and the 2-key lower fence. The way to use this action is to review the outliers that are presented and determine whether or not to filter out those records that are represented by the outliers. In this case, if I were to check this box for BMI, otherwise known as body mass index, I would be keeping all of the lower points down to 15.96 and cutting off all the results at 46.67. If I wanted to keep them, I could simply not check the box, or I could also move the slider to include or exclude more of those values. The way I determine how to include or exclude is to determine where that cutoff point is. For example, perhaps it's 51, so I can move the slider to 51 and decide which outliers to keep or exclude. You'll notice that this doesn't refresh. What you're doing here is simply using this as a visual indicator to determine where to move the sliders. And again, if I wanted to actually make a change where I filtered these, I would check the box, save the changes, and execute. And that would remove the specific rows that make up those particular outliers. So any of those that are above 50.71 for the BMI would be removed from the eventual data set after the execution. Now that I've selected the range that I want to keep, I've accepted the execution, and I can take a look at my data to sort by value, in this case BMI. I see that the lower range is included at 1596, but it's now cut off at 1571. So all of those below that threshold or lower are included in the data set. And any of those records or observations that were higher than the threshold are now removed from the data set.